Whether you're a first-time gardener or looking to improve your harvest, proper soil preparation is the foundation of a successful food garden. Today we'll explore everything you need to know about preparing your soil, from budget-friendly basics to advanced techniques. We will even suggest specific recipes based on your soil test results. Let's start with understanding what makes great garden soil. According to the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, ideal garden soil contains 40% sand, 40% silt, and 20% clay, what gardeners call loam. But don't worry if your soil isn't perfect. We'll show you exactly how to transform what you have. First, test your soil. The University of Minnesota Extension recommends testing every 3 to 5 years. You can purchase an inexpensive home test kit for around $15 or send samples to your local agricultural extension office for more detailed analysis, typically costing $20 to $30. Your soil test will reveal 3 critical pieces of information: pH level, nutrient content, and soil structure. Let's explore specific recipes for each scenario. For acidic soil with a pH below 6.0, you'll want to apply lime using these ratios from Michigan State University Extension. For clay soil, add 7.5 pounds of lime per 100 square feet to raise the pH by 1 point. For loamy soil, use 5 pounds, and for sandy soil, only 2.5 pounds. It's best to apply lime in the autumn since it takes several months to actually alter the pH. If your soil is alkaline, with a pH above 7.0, add elemental sulfur. Virginia Cooperative Extension recommends 1.2 pounds per 100 square feet for clay soils, 0.8 pounds for loam, and 0.3 pounds for sandy soils to lower the pH by 1 point. Alternatively, you can use aluminum sulfate at 3 times these rates for faster results. Now for the crucial nutrient ratios. Your soil test shows NPK values. That's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Here's how to calculate amendments. For nitrogen-deficient soil, the University of Maryland Extension suggests adding 0.1 pound of actual nitrogen per 100 square feet for most vegetables. If you're using blood meal at 13% nitrogen, you divide 0.1 by 0.13. which means you'd apply 0.77 pounds per 100 square feet. And if you're going with compost at 2% nitrogen, you'd need 5 pounds. It's straightforward once you get the hang of the numbers. Phosphorus calculations, well, they work in a similar way. If your soil test shows low phosphorus, you should add bone meal at 0.2 pounds per 100 square feet for every 10 parts per million, or ppm, below optimal levels. Rock phosphate releases a bit slower, but it lasts longer, so you'd use 1/2 pound per 100 square feet. Just keep that in mind when planning your amendments. For potassium, green sand or wood ash are both good options. You'd want to apply wood ash at 0.1 pound per 100 square feet for every 50 ppm below optimal. But be cautious here. Wood ash also raises the soil pH, so use it thoughtfully. Let's talk specific soil structure recipes. For heavy clay soil, Ohio State University Extension recommends this mix per 100 square feet: 2 cubic feet of coarse sand, 3 cubic feet of compost, and 1 cubic foot of perlite. You'll want to till that into about 10 inches deep. This improves drainage while still maintaining nutrient retention. Sandy soil needs the opposite approach. You should add 4 cubic feet of compost, 2 cubic feet of peat moss or coconut coir, and 1 cubic foot of vermiculite per 100 square feet. This mix increases water and nutrient retention, which is just what sandy soil needs. For raised beds, here are 3 proven recipes. Recipe 1 is the classic Mel's mix, that is equal parts compost, peat moss or coconut coir, and coarse vermiculite. For a 4 by 8 foot bed, about 12 inches deep, you'll need 10.7 cubic feet of each component. Recipe 2 is Cornell University's mix. It is made up of 50% compost, 30% topsoil, and 20% perlite or sand. This economical blend works really well for larger beds. And finally, Recipe 3 is the premium vegetable blend from the Rodale Institute. That's 40% compost, 20% topsoil, 20% peat moss, 10% perlite, and 10% worm castings. You'll also want to add 1 cup each of green sand, rock phosphate, and kelp meal per cubic foot. Keep in mind that different plants require specific adjustments. For root vegetables, you'll want to increase your sand content by about 20%. North Carolina State actually recommends a special carrot bed mix, 60% sand, 30% compost, and just 10% soil. Brassicas need a bit of extra nitrogen, so add an additional 2 pounds of blood meal per 100 square feet to your base recipe. And don't forget to incorporate 1 pound of Epsom salt for magnesium. It is crucial for chlorophyll production. Tomatoes and peppers require a good dose of calcium, so mix 1 pound of gypsum per 100 square feet into their planting area. Also, add half a pound of bone meal for phosphorus, which will support fruit development. For acid-loving plants like blueberries, you'll want to create a special mix. Use about 50% peat moss, 30% compost and 20% sand. Then add 2 pounds of sulfur for every 100 square feet to keep the pH between 4.5 and 5.5. Here is a master formula for calculating organic matter additions. First, measure your current organic matter percentage from the soil test. For vegetable gardens, you should aim for between 5 and 8%. Each 1-inch layer of compost adds about 1% organic matter when tilled 6 inches deep. So if your test shows 2%, you'll want to add 3 to 6 inches of compost. Now, let's talk budget calculations. Basic soil improvement costs about $50 to $100 per 100 square feet if you're using purchased amendments. But making your own compost and sourcing free materials can bring that down to just $10 to $20. Not bad, eh? Professional mix deliveries usually run between $45 to $65 per cubic yard. Just to give you an idea, 1 cubic yard will cover about 100 square feet at 3 inches deep. Custom blended soil does cost a bit more, but honestly it saves you quite a lot of mixing time. Remember to calculate for settling. Loose amendments tend to compact by about 15 to 25%. So if you need 12 inches of raised bed soil after settling, you'll want to start with 15 inches, just to be on the safe side. Always mix amendments thoroughly. Penn State Extension recommends the layer cake method. Spread 1/3 of amendments, till and repeat twice more. This ensures even distribution. Water your prepared soil and let it rest for 2 weeks before planting. This allows pH adjustments to begin and soil biology to activate. To test moisture, just give it a squeeze. It should form a ball that crumbles when poked. Keep detailed records of your amendments and results. This helps you fine-tune ratios for your specific conditions and track improvements over time. Great soil produces great vegetables. By following these specific recipes and calculating proper ratios based on your soil test, you'll create the perfect growing medium for abundant harvests. Remember, building healthy soil is an investment that pays dividends for years to come.